And the moment he started watching this content, he completely changed. He started calling women whores, skanks.
I think he has a very interesting take on the whole red pill thing. Shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew and the Ask Your Brother podcast. But before we get into the video, do me a favor, like the video and leave a comment. I do my best to respond to as many as I can, and I really enjoy listening to what you guys have to say. Subscribe to my channel and hit that hype button if you really want to help your boy out. It is really appreciated.
So the 4 pills is red pill. Was it red pill, blue pill, white pill, white pill, black pill? So even before describing what all these pills mean, the pills are, we got that from the movie The Matrix. So all ladies, I highly recommend, and all gentlemen who maybe grew up and never watched it, which is strange, watch The Matrix. What it is there's a main character called, obviously, Neo, right? Keanu Reeves. And in it, he wakes up, or, you know, he basically is presented from a person named Morpheus. He has 2 pills in his hand, a blue pill and a red pill. And he says, listen, this is your opportunity to be fully aware of the true reality of what's going on and happening to you and around you. Or we can forget this conversation and I'll give you the blue pill and you'll continue to live in oblivion to the actual fake reality that you think is real. And he takes the red pill. The red pill, like I said, is what wakes you up and just makes you more aware of how society and culture and whatever really works. Now, it really, in the manosphere space, meaning the content space, the internet space where men are having conversations about women, their lived experiences, and a whole host of other things, the red pill is where men talk about the truth of their experience, both personally and collectively, in dating and marriage relationships. That's it. People have applied red pill now to politics and a whole host of other things, but from a manosphere perspective, it really is about relationship primarily. When women argue and scream, and the soft beta males that be complaining about it too, red pill is ruining this and red pill is ruining that. Yes and no. Red pill only makes men aware of things. It doesn't tell men what to do. Okay? So red pill in and of itself is just focusing on observable, repeatable, more than likely truths that most men tend to experience. So an example of red pill would be the majority of women tend to prefer that a man is taller than them. That's it. That's red pill. What to do about that if you're not tall enough is up to you. You may have to figure out ways to compensate for that in the gym, with your finances, with your charisma, with, you know what I'm saying? So the prescriptions or the approaches of what to do with that, deal with that truth, is still on you. You have to figure that out, or you can go to people in the manosphere who then make prescriptions. But the red pill is just explaining the truth of it. The majority of women would prefer that a guy makes at minimum what they make or a little bit higher than them. Most of our experiences say that's the ideal. Why? Because that's what most women espouse, that's what they say, that's how they behave. So it doesn't matter if there's an individual woman where that's not the case. In general, most women prefer a man that's taller than them. Most women prefer a man that's stronger than them. Most women prefer a man that makes as much or money with the potential to make more money. That's the reality. And most women subscribe to those things and they move and act that way. As a man, it's your job to be made aware of that. So the reason why this is a problem, women are upset because it doesn't make female nature look very favorable. It makes them look much more conditional and transactional. So the Disney version of women, believe all women, they're all good, they're all kind, they're all this, they're all that. That all goes out the window when you have to deal with the red pill truth of how women actually move. They say, oh, you can cry in front of me. If somebody ain't die, just best believe once or twice and she may not see you the same. That is a lived red pill perspective for most men. So some men will prescribe, don't cry in front of women. Sometimes that works, maybe sometimes it doesn't, and each man has to decide. That's what red pill is. Blue pill is the men that won't acknowledge it, and the men that don't know it. Blue pill are the men that are still subservient, mentally and emotionally, psychologically and politically, to an environment that's been feminized and dominated by far left feminists. That's blue pill. So blue pill is, if there's an issue, it's always got to be the man's fault. That's what society says. That's what a lot of women say, and that's how some men operate. So if a woman's crying, she can't be lying. That's blue pill. Red pill is women can cry and be lying at the same time.
That's bad.
Exactly. So they don't mind you being so in reality, women won't claim blue pill, but they love men that are. The terms we use for the men that are still bought into the feminine narratives that are a detriment to men, are detriment to families, and a detriment to any thriving society. Is what's crazy as you think about it is they love blue pill men that listen to them, but they don't respect them in real life. They say, I want a man that lets me do what I want, wear what I want, act how I want, and talk how I want. But then they don't respect those men whenever their emotions are involved. Okay, and they get turned off by those men. And I mentioned this before, if they are taking birth control, if they get that out their system, they're actually start to be less attracted to the very men that they claim to try to force all men to be. They actually start getting attracted more to the guys that's more independent, the guys that's more sigma, the guys that's more rogue, the guys that's more alpha, whatever all these terms. It's the guy that isn't gonna always do what you say, and he ain't gonna be led by your feelings. He's gonna be led by his intuition and his motivation. So that's the difference between red pill and blue pill. White pill and black pill are counter opposites. Both of them acknowledge red pill realities, but they're different approaches of what to do about that. White pill just means I know the truth of the reality of our society, of women, of dating and relationships, and I'm still going to choose to have an optimistic view. White pill guys are still interested in potentially marriage. They're potentially still open to relationships with women. They're still interested in friendships with women. They still see value in them. Black pill men don't. So red pill is awareness of the truth. White pill is you still have a more optimistic lens of women in society and culture and relationships. Black pill you don't. And blue pill is you're still ignorant. That's the difference. Yeah. So I'm considered a red pill therapist in terms of how I approach personally. I'm white pill. But I understand why there's so many men that are black pill. What I'm trying to do is get men to move more towards white pill, but do it with your eyes wide open.
Now, I think this brother did a good job explaining the differences with the pills, because the red pill gets such a bad rap based on the extreme side, but there is also this side to it. There are men out there who are married to women, they don't hate women, but they understand women more. They know the truth about women, and they have no problem calling them out. And that is what he explained when he was talking about the white and the black pill, which I knew nothing about. I didn't know anything about the white or black pill. But based on his definition, I would consider myself white pill, because I still believe there are good women out there. Like I say in all of my videos, I haven't given up on them. I still think women have value, so I will be lumped into the white pill category. And the reason why you don't see blue pill, red pill, white pill, black pill for women is because number one, men are not that hard to figure out, and number two, everything that needs to be said about men has already been said. Men will tell you about men. There's no dark secrets. People have been talking about men forever, so you don't need a blue pill or red pill for that. All you had to do was turn on Oprah. But I really wanted to go over this video because I think so many people misunderstand what red pill is about. It isn't about hating women or anything like that. It really just boils down to accepting the truth. That's it. It has nothing to do with anything else. Like he said, you can do with that information what you want to do with it, but it is about accepting the truth. And part of the reason why so many women don't like it is because they don't like how the truth looks. So when they're sitting there and they're watching their truth, they don't like it. It makes them feel icky, but it doesn't change the truth. It's still the truth. But the word red pill has gotten such a bad rap, and a lot of that has to do with the Andrew Tates of the world, the Fresh and Fits of the world. And because they're under the red pill name, anybody who's considered red pill is thrown in there with them. It kind of reminds me of when those planes crashed into those buildings back in New York. Right after that, anytime you heard somebody was a Muslim or if somebody said something about being Muslim, there were people who lumped you in the same category with the guys on the plane. And that wasn't the case. There are a gazillion different types of Muslims out there. But for that small moment, people were lumping them all in the same category. And that's the same thing with red pill. Just because you got a couple guys out there who are extreme, they think anybody who's on this topic is the same. Like this chick here believes she lost her man to the extreme red pill.
Where are all the women who lost their male partners to red pill content? Front and center, please. Because I want to know what happened. I want to know how he started off when y'all got together and how red pill content changed him.
I lost the guy that I loved and cared about to red pill content. Before he started watching this content, he was a sweet, nice man who treated me well and was charismatic, funny. And the moment he started watching this content, he completely changed. He started calling women whores, skanks. He became very, very angry almost all the time. And then eventually he ended things with me because he thought I was using him for money. Now, granted, there was one time where I did make a joke about how I wanted an old guy to take care of me, and I quickly regretted it and said I was sorry. But I still cared about him. I would drive 30 minutes every day to see him. Like, it wasn't just about the money. Because he's watching all this content, he thinks that all these women are trying to use him and all that stuff. And so he had a loving girl that cared about him and loved him and like would stick by his side through anything. And then he eventually said this to me, and this was the final straw. Now, when I first started talking to him, not that it mattered, but he was over 270 pounds when I started talking to him. I did not care about his size. He then lost weight and then started fat shaming everyone around him. And today, actually, he said this to me. He called me a broke skank, and then said that I would ease back on the food. Your stomach's getting a little big. And I've never, my whole life, had a man speak to me like that. And here I was the week before, going out, and I was gonna go buy him a present for his birthday. And for him to turn around and call the girl that cared about him and loved him a skank and fat, when he's like one of the only guys that I've been with. And in the beginning it was totally opposite. He would compliment me, tell me how pretty I was, and laugh and make jokes, and like, just this content, it just ruined him. And then I went on his page before we unfollowed each other, and I saw he was reposting like Andrew Tate and like David Goggins, and like almost all of his reposts were that. And then that's how I found out that he was in this red pill rabbit hole, and now I connected the dots.
And this isn't just women. There are a lot of men out there who hate the red pill.
If you subscribe to the red pill in the past 5 years, you're still holding on to that, you are going to set up for failure when it comes to dating.
See, fellas, you gotta be really careful, and you gotta stop soaking up all of this manosphere, red pill content.
Red pill content ruined a lot of you niggas. Had y'all really thinking that you gotta hate all the women you come across.
And that is because they believe those extreme guys represent all of the red pill. And that's just not the case. There are a lot of men in this space, red pill, blue pill, black pill, white pill, whatever you want to call it, who are happily married, talk about their wives all the time, including the guy in this video. He's married, but they don't think about that. This is why a lot of men don't want to be associated with the red pill. I was one of those men. I remember when I first started making my content go more towards men, and somebody called me red pill. I was like, I'm not red pill. But based on the definition of red pill, I would be considered red pill. But because red pill can mean so many things, I consider myself white pill. Because I do know the truth. I'm not fooled by women anymore. I know exactly what they're about. I just know how to move with them now. That's all it is for me. I don't fall for all their games and traps anymore. All that dumb stuff that I used to think was normal, it isn't normal. Women have been getting away with that stuff for years because a lot of men just didn't know. And the reason why a lot of women don't like my channel now is because my job is to let men know how a lot of these women are moving out here. And it really is just about giving men the opportunity to decide what they want to do instead of just walking around oblivious like the blue pill men. And if you're a blue pill man out there dealing with these women, more power to you. But I refuse to live in that world. I believe if there were more men out there who understood women, who knew the truth about women, all those little games and tricks wouldn't work anymore. You can't just cry in the middle of a conversation and think a man is going to say, okay, I'm sorry. No, I don't care if you're crying. You still going to acknowledge what you did wrong. That's where I'm at right now. And that's where I want men to get to. Just be aware of it. And then you have the men who are black pill, and they don't want to deal with women at all. Those men will be considered MGTOW, men going their own way. I understand how a man can get to that place. I'm not there. A lot of those men have been through hell and back with women, and they're done with it. Now, I do believe it has a lot to do with the type of women that we're choosing, because I always say, I don't believe us men are great pickers either. We be out there just picking women based on their beauty, and that ain't the way you pick a woman to spend your life with. But the fact is, a lot of those men are done. And I don't even try to change their mind. If you feel that way, you feel that way. Because most of those men really don't even go into detail about it. If you ask them, why don't you want to deal with women? They're going to be like,
why? Because f them, that's why.
It's just what it is with them. They don't want to deal with it, and that's that. But the men out there like myself who still believe there are good women, I don't want y'all going out there unequipped with the information you need to deal with these women. If you just go out there willy-nilly thinking you're gonna fall in love and everything's gonna work out like it's a damn Disney movie, you're gonna get played or you're gonna get your heart broken. So my job is just to give you the information. You do what you want to do with it. I do not hate women. I don't despise women. I just know the truth about them. That is it. So anytime I see a woman come on my page talk about something, all you do is talk about women, you're right. Because that's what my page is about. It is about opening men up to the truth about these women. There's a lot of bad information out there about what men should do and how men should behave. My job is to debunk that information. I can't have this information just floating around unchecked. I can't have other women or other men believing that this is correct. Because if you look into those comment sections, these people believe that this is correct. And my job is to shut that down. So yes, a lot of my videos are about women because that is where most of the bad information is coming from. If you don't like it, you don't have to come watch my videos. And that's fine with me because the mission isn't going to change because you're not here. You've never heard me or you'll never hear me on here telling men that all women are the same, all women suck, leave them all alone. You'll never hear me do that. What you hear me say is this is how women move, this is what women are about. So if you still want to date them or have a relationship with them, your job is to go out there and choose better, pick a better quality woman, stop picking them based on the goofy stuff that we've been picking on for the last 100 years. Start picking based on their morals, character, their personality, things that matter. Basically, stop picking them with your little head and start picking them with your big head. That's what you hear me talking about because I do know there are good women out there. So if you women want to come in my comments and call me red pill or whatever you want to call me, well, based on the definition this man is using, technically I am. But it doesn't mean I'm on here taking it to the next level like some of those extreme dudes. If you can listen to the guy in this video, myself, and any other man who's online calling out women's bad behavior, but we never degrade them, we never call them out their names, we never say all women do anything, still say it loud and proudly that we have love for them, and you still lump us in there with those extreme guys, well then something's wrong with you. I don't know what else to tell you, because you can't see the difference between the two types of men. So I've accepted the fact that taking the red pill just opens you up to seeing women as they are and not how they're represented in those Disney movies. So if you're a man and you feel like you understand women a little better and you know everything you've been told about them isn't true, then guess what? Technically, you're red pill too. And if you're a woman and you're starting to see how women move and you see that women lie, cheat, manipulate just as much as men, then guess what? Technically, you're red pill too. Now, unfortunately, there has been so much damage to the word red pill. If you even mention the word, there are a lot of people who would instantly be disgusted. Like if you're on a date and the girl asks you, are you red pill? And you say yes.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Now, if you don't care about that, fine. You can go around and scream red pill all day. But for the people out there who now know all women aren't perfect, all women aren't great, all women are in fact not a Disney princess, but you still believe there are some good ones out there, then I will put you over there with me in the white pill. I've heard people say they're purple pill before, which is just a combination of the red pill and the blue pill. But the fact is, if you mention red pill or if you're lumped in that group, it's going to turn a lot of people off. And I want to say this last thing. Social media has done a lot of bad things, but it has done something good. It has shown the men and the world how women really think, how they really feel. A lot of these women come online and they just tell you everything, their inner thoughts, what happened on their dates, why they broke up with a guy, how they cheat, why they cheat. So we are now for the first time in real time seeing how these women move behind the scenes. And if you're a person watching that and you still think all women are innocent flowers, then to me, you are delusional. And to all of those men who are considered to be blue pill, who still believe women can do no wrong, everything is the man's fault, and they always have something negative to say about men in this space, you know, the red pill, white pill, black pill, purple pill, whatever. Just know every man in this space was once blue pill just like you. So when that day comes and you're sick of playing those mental gymnastics those women have set up for you, and you're tired of being dragged through the mud because you keep following those old outdated rules, and you finally decide to swallow a different color pill, and I don't care what color it is, the white pill, the black pill, the red pill, the purple pill, it doesn't matter. I want you to go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and say that color out loud. And like Kevin Hart said,
say it with your chest, little ass nigga.
But anyway, leave your thoughts in the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.